I'm Kathy, and 89% of you have more healthy brain tissue in your head than I do. This has happened because of a lot of accumulated scarring that I had early on in my disease before disease-modifying therapies were available. It has led to rapid atrophy of my brain. So I'm 54 and I should have a lot more functional brain tissue, but as my doctor says, it's not quantity, it's quality, which I appreciate. So I assume they think I have some degree of quality, or they're being nice. In any case, Dr. Boster did a live Q&A this morning where he mentioned my channel, and so much love to Dr. Boster. Many of us know who he is. If you don't, you need to meet him on YouTube. He has his own channel. You can search for it under Aaron Boster, AARONBOSTER. You would not recognize me from a year ago, and I realize I've made a mistake and not brought up my before picture, so I want to do that. And while I'm doing that, I will tell you that today's fashion look is brought to you by dang, it's hot outside, and doggone it, I have to walk that dog every few hours, and I try to get 3 miles in a day, and I wear my ice vest, which I showed last time, all sorts of things like that. But today's focus is going to be on diet and the success I feel I've had on diet. And I have a before picture. And I will show you me as of yesterday, exactly 80 pounds ago. Well, I will try to show you that. I've got the bumbling fingers. So in any case, here is me, get that in there, 80 pounds ago. I was sad and miserable. That smile is fake as heck. I was complacent, and I just thought, MS can't get better, and so I'm not even going to bother trying. Hopefully, you see a big difference, This is a genuine smile. So how did I do this? Well, one of the first things I did was I bought a book by Dr. Mark Hyman called Food. What the heck should I eat? Okay, I liked his advice in the book. He also has a video channel, and I have it in my recommendeds. But I'm going to tell you that I also think he uses a little woohoo, like a couple of things that I disagree with, because they've worked for me, even though he kind of believes they wouldn't. So the major change I have made is to eliminate as many sources of carbohydrates as I can from my diet. I had to break a serious sugar addiction. Sugar was my go-to comfort food that I loved more than any other kind of food. If I had the choice between a Dairy Queen Blizzard and a steak, I wanted that Blizzard. Okay, so now I want the steak. And I can eat a good normal portion of steak and feel very full and satisfied. That's one of the beauties about breaking the sugar addiction. You get off of the insulin roller coaster. You eat carbs, your insulin jacks up to get in there and help your body distribute those carbs, use those carbs. Those carbs will get burned first before any fat is burned, whether you eat the fat or it's fat stored on your body. And here's an interesting fact you all can check me on, do some Google on. Human bodies don't need any carbohydrates. I was very shocked to find that out as I was going through figuring out what I was actually now going to eat. So if I have carbohydrates, I limit them to things like strawberries, blackberries, blueberries are an especial favorite, and raspberries. All of those are very low carb foods that won't raise your blood sugar. You want to look for 2 things about your food: glycemic index and glycemic load. Those are going to tell you how something is going to affect your insulin and how long it's going to have that effect, like how far it will raise your blood sugar and how long it will raise your blood sugar. So thankfully I never developed any diabetes or anything from my serious, actually, obesity problem. In that picture, I was 268 pounds. I am now a slender and happy 188 pounds. So I hit my 80 pounds. I am so bad at math, and I fumble and bumble. I'm sorry. I hit my 80 pounds lost yesterday on July 4th. So yay to myself. If you don't want a clap for me or whatever, that's fine. But I did want to show you a few of the kind of hacks that I use to cut my sugar habit, to lose my sugar habit. I want to tell you that the first thing I'm going to show you will be the easiest pounds you will ever lose. And that is stop drinking sugared or diet soda. You must. This is LaCroix. Many people have seen it before. This is apricot. It comes in lots of flavors. It has no sugar or artificial sweetener. What you get from it is you get the fizz of pop, and you get the nose of apricot, like the smell. And smell is an important part of taste. So I love these. I try to restrict it to 2 a day because the best thing you can actually drink is real water, which I drink a lot of. So second show and tell thing is since I can eat fat and protein, and I can eat bacon, which you have to watch though because they sneak sugar into bacon. So it's often just a tiny bit, and it's not likely to set off huge glycemic problems. This bacon, for instance, claims to have total carbohydrates of should have brought my glass of actually it says 0 milligrams per serving, and I don't know if that's true or not, but if you keep anything that has a serving with just a few milligrams of carbs, you should be okay. But you don't want to have the majority of your food come from white bread or even whole grain bread. I eat no grains just because of the carb load and because they tax the pancreas. No potatoes, no white rice. I don't eat any rice in general because of the carb load. So I restrict carbohydrates very much, and also whole foods, fresh foods. My trusty bag of spinach, and I use spinach for a lot of different things. I use spinach in place of pasta. For instance, I'll put a big bowl of spinach down, which is so low in carbs. It's like 1 carb for this bag. So, and it's also very nutritious. So this is like my savior, spinach, okay? I love it in salads. Simply dressed salads are really nice. That's not a brand name, but I'm talking about salt, pepper, vinegar, and oil. And pick a good oil, like not canola oil, and not like cheap vegetable oil off the shelf. Pick olive oil for your salad. Pick walnut oil is delicious with raspberry vinegar. So you can do that, and you can add in, I especially love in spinach salads, crumbled blue cheese. And I buy a lot of, they say don't buy shredded cheese, but this is actually all blue cheese, okay? So one of the reasons that I love these pre-prepared foods, like the pre-prepared bacon and the crumbled blue cheese, is of course they minimize the amount of work and effort that I have to put into cooking. I still have to put work and effort into cooking to make sure that I am getting the right amount of nutrients, etc. Now, I eat whole eggs. I would never consider taking the yolk out of the egg. The yolk is where the nutrition is. The whites are kind of useless. I mean, they're protein, which is great, but the yolk an egg only has 80 calories, 0 carbs, and I refuse to believe they're bad for you. I've grown up on them. I've eaten pickled eggs. I've eaten all sorts of different eggs, and I just will not give them up until someone says they make MS worse or something like that. I also use full-fat dairy, okay? I never drink milk because of lactose, which is pretty much pure sugar, and it's got a higher glycemic load than other dairy products. But anything that has low fat usually has a sugar content or a higher sugar content. So with this yogurt, and I'm not trying to like do advertisements or anything, I'm not getting paid by anybody to show this, but honestly, it says like carbs on here. 3% of your daily carbs. That's using the usual amount of carbs. So this would be, maybe I would have like 3/4 of a cup of this, which is going to minimize my exposure to carbohydrates. And the best thing that I love to do with this is either, well, I want to show you two. It's full fat. Okay, it's Greek yogurt. It's whole milk. And I would add like 3/4 of a cup of blueberries or some sliced strawberries, mix that together. The thing you'll notice when you quit sugar, when you break your sugar habit, is everything tastes better. Strawberries taste amazing. Blueberries taste amazing. All your food, you will get the real taste of what your food should be. You have forgotten that because of how much added sugar is forced into our diets. On that note, I want to show a couple of other things that I use. I use this over spinach. It's my replacement. The spinach is my replacement for pasta. I had to very carefully take a long time reading labels, looking for pasta sauces without sugar. They're loaded with sugar. Ketchup is loaded with sugar. This particular one, which like I said, I'm not getting any help for. Now, tomatoes have carbs, but they also have a lot of other health benefits. So I use this, and I would use probably half a cup of it over a big part of the spinach. I would heat this, and then that would kind of wilt the spinach down a little bit, and I can still get kind of a delicious spaghetti effect. I can put Parmesan cheese on this without any problem. Okay, and then my next one is also, watch out for these, salsas. Salsa has carbohydrates, obviously, because it's got the tomatoes and sometimes peppers, which have carbs in them. So you can eat a tablespoon or two of this without an issue. I, again, pour it on spinach, maybe put a dab of sour cream on it, maybe break up some hamburger meat over it, to kind of give myself like a fun taco dinner or whatever. Again, you will spend a long time looking for salsa that has no added sugar, okay? Added sugar is everywhere. You have to read every label unless you're literally holding an avocado in your hand, which I wish I could show that too. Because one of my favorite breakfasts is just an entire avocado. Just eat it straight up, entire avocado. I love it. Another one is I buy lots of varieties of cheese because I really love cheese, and I can snack on these and feel very fulfilled with them because they're fat cheeses. And actually, this is goat cheese and sheep cheese. That's how much I love cheese. Let's see. Do I have any other show and tell? I do not. But the point is whole foods. Now, even if you don't have any weight to lose, you will feel better. I can almost promise that you will feel better if you get sugar out of your diet. I swear that sugar was poisoning my health. I don't think it was causing my MS at all. I know what the disease function is. I don't know what causes MS, but I know it's not sugar, or we'd all have MS. But if I had one dieting tip, I would give that. I would also, I say I'm running out of time here, I would also recommend checking out things like intermittent fasting, and single meal a day eating. Lots of people say, oh, snack all day, little things like that, but they're finding out that's really not a good habit to get your body into. I find that I will eat rather normally with the no sugar things, and when I hit a plateau in my weight, I then will skip up to intermittent fasting, or take every kind of carb out of my diet and literally just eat meat and spinach and other low-carb vegetables until I put my body into ketosis, go into a keto-style diet, and that'll usually break the plateau. And also, I exercise vigorously, which is something I've never done before in my life. I started the program through Ohio Health, and I have found it's made an amazing difference in my terrible fatigue, etc. So I'm at almost 15 minutes. I don't want to go over that, so I am going to end this, and I hope something here was helpful. Leave me your tips below. If you have any, press like, subscribe, whatever, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.